I'm taking a titty pic for my husband.
Really putting those together.
Excited to see you later.
You know, while we're getting ready for this
so
show.
Good.
Oh.
Yeah.
What's your infatuation with tits today?
Oh, I just have acne on my chest.
Not your own. I'm saying you've commented on 2 different bosoms.
No, I haven't. My own and that lady's were
at the restaurant, and then you showed me another example.
You're right. I have talked about 3 sets of tits, one of which being my own. I'm gonna have to send that to Joe later. I'm also texting with my dad right now, and I don't want to get those lines crossed.
She had like 5 series of events about her appearance right before we started rolling. She goes, I'm wearing the kind of thing that you would make fun of. And I said, me? That I make fun of? And she goes, no, that I make fun of. And then 2 seconds later, like a completely different person. Wow, I'm so hot.
I am.
So like those 2 can be the same, like no matter what you're wearing.
Look at me though. I'm wearing leggings, fucking workout shoes, and a mini dress that I'm going to take off the second we're done rolling because you can't see my bottom half, but it's whack.
Well, we're filming 2 in a day because Lizzie flew out to Colorado to film podcasts, which you're rallying strong. Honestly, I commend you.
Oh, I'm dying.
I don't know how you can do 2 a days in that airport.
Oh, it's because I like really want to go home. Like it's weird. It's like a weird thing. Like I always love coming here, and every time I'm here, I'm like, God, I want to stay longer. But then like in the back of my head, it's like, I miss my fucking dogs. And I do miss Joe.
I get that. I mean, well, not I'm not missing Joe specifically. Like I like Joe, but I'm not like, you know, he's not my significant other. Yeah. But the puppy thing, like I even go to my parents' house for an hour. I'm like, I gotta get home to Riley because it's just like this bond where she does so many cute things, and it's like I don't want to miss any of it, and I just want to be with her at all times.
It's just like whenever I'm not home, I come home and it's like there's more destruction done to the cabinet in the kitchen where the puppy's been gnawing on it because I know they leave him in the kitchen with the gate locked, or he's been eating the window in the front of the house, so the window is just slowly eroding. And yesterday, Joe had the audacity to like walk by the window that's like been the same amount of eaten since I've gotten home because I'm the only one who has like the dog on the couch with me all the time. And Joe goes, wow, that's gotten so much bigger today. And it's like, today? You mean while I was out of town? Interesting choice of words.
They can't be trusted alone with animals.
Low-key, they cannot.
Significant others in general.
No, I can trust them. No. They're just... I could trust them.
Oh, I'm just saying for both of us. Like even I left today, and it goes both ways. Like I can be equally as forgetful, but we were running out to lunch, and I said, "Oh, we've been doing Riley's training sessions at lunch. So instead of lunch, he gets his food with his training." Yeah. That chewing a bone over there is pretty loud.
Oh, you can hear that? Well, I can hear it too.
So I was like, oh, Shane, can you feed Riley for lunch? And he's like, oh, yeah, feed and let out. And I got home and I was like, did you feed and let out Riley? And he like rolled his eyes at me and I'm like, what? I'm not allowed to ask? And he goes, no, because that signifies that you don't trust that I did do it. And I go, well, did she shit? And the same thing happened. And I was like, well, I just want to know for my own sake so that I'm not taking her out aimlessly and being like, oh, she's not pooping and I know she needs to poop. Because if she's pooped, then I'm not going to sit out there praying that she'll poop.
How'd she pooped?
She pooped.
Good for her. Also, I was just so distracted while you were telling that story because this shirt is doing fucking everything for your eyes.
Really?
Yeah.
It's a shirt I've never worn before. It's in the same cut that I always get shirts.
We know.
But there's 2 different brands. There's 2 different like brands within the same brand. Like there's 2 different mates.
Oh, it's a good material.
Well, this is the one I don't like because it's a really deep V. And so I never actually wear the shirt, but I really have to go shopping for the podcast.
You got to get this color in everything.
Well, thank you, because I was actually going to bring up that I need, like, I'm in dire need of shopping for this podcast specifically, because I did even see the last time we recorded, I was straight from the gym and then a bunch happened. And so I didn't change. Yeah. And somebody said, you need to retire that shirt. And I'm like, I know, it's been with me for 4 years and I wear it every day, even though I have three of the same ones.
And last week you wore a shirt from Clever Era, which was at least like 8 years ago, right?
Yeah. And even just now, I went to the closet and I'm like, I got to change so that I'm not wearing the same thing, but I have nothing.
You only have the same thing. Also, if I hadn't changed, I would have totally forgotten that my ID is in my titty. So thank God.
Oh, back to DIA. That place fucking sucks.
DIA is what you're calling it. Denver International Airport. Right.
Sound it out, baby girl.
Denver. Oh, that's what you wrote on the thing.
It is the world's worst airport.
Not me in the car being like, what's DIA?
Well, because I was just like at awe with the way that you can hit 2 airplanes in one day. I'm in awe.
Yeah.
What did I say?
At awe.
Oh.
Is that okay with you? I'm just testing the waters. I don't know. You like to be corrected, so I'm just...
Whoa, now we're getting passive aggressive.
Is that what that's called?
While you're beefing, do you want to continue beefing, or do you want me to talk about my qualms with DIA?
Okay, let's hear about Daya first. For those of you in the comment section who are like, she never lets him finish his story. This is miserable. Yeah, I am miserable.
Do you want to talk about that hole in your heart?
No.
Oh.
Oh, I mean...
Because we need something deep.
Well, this is so funny, because now 2 weeks in a row, you want to talk about what I want to talk about in my vlog.
Well, save something for the podcast, okay?
Yeah. No. I'm like, yeah, let's plug this vlog.
Make something sacred.
No, I'm happy to talk about the hole in my heart.
Is this a repeat again?
A three-peat?
A repeat.
A repeat of what?
Your vlog.
What? Oh.
Whatever you're going to say.
Oh.
Make it original.
Wait, first... Oh, I get what you're saying. First, tell me about what you hate about DIA, besides the obvious. What's your DIA beef?
Okay, what I love about LAX, we'll start with that.
Nobody loves anything about LAX. You mean Burbank?
Yes, a small airport, Burbank is preferable. I would do anything to fly out of Burbank if possible. But if you're going to a bigger airport, I think Los Angeles, LAX, is wonderfully set up because you get dropped off at your specific terminal and there's a security for every terminal, like every different airline. Whereas at DIA, everyone going everywhere is in the same line.
Oh,
and then you have to get
trolley.
packed full of sardines into a trolley.
Which I'm positive every time I've gotten COVID has been in that trolley.
And I was just going to tell you, if I ever was going to get COVID, it was going to be my last experience being packed into that trolley like a fucking animal. Because we recently traveled to Wyoming and we're on our way back. We're trying to get home and we've landed and I'm just trying to get out of that fucking airport.
Yeah.
And we get down to the trolley, but there's a million people waiting for it, but everyone's running in. And I'm like, I'm not missing this because the next one's not for another 5 minutes and I can't be away from my house for longer than this. And everyone, I swear to you, just everyone's like, no, we can fit more. We can fit more. We can fit more.
It's psychotic how they push in too. It's like, what the fuck?
And we're all holding on to each other, breathing
touching
in.
the
And I was like, if I was ever going to get a disease, it was going to be in this confined space where there's 700 people where the limit should be 100.
Oh, yeah.
And it's unavoidable and it's a nightmare. And I just thought, even on the way out, on the way back in, I just thought, I never want to travel again out of this airport because it's such a freaking nightmare.
I mean, I lost my luggage there. Like, you don't have to tell me twice that DIA sucks.
Dia? Okay, now that I'm done with that. Because, flying out of Burbank, flying out of the small airport in Wyoming.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, Burbank's just so chill. I just literally, I walk there from where I park my car. I walk back to my car. I'm so pissed. I bought a scooter and I completely forgot about it.
You haven't ridden it?
Yeah.
You should be going to the grocery store. You should go everywhere in that scooter.
It's not motor scooter.
Oh.
Do you still have those motor scooters?
Yes. I need to replace the wheel. I moved it to this house. And actually today on my walk, my dog walk, I'm walking 3 dogs now, which Riley's still getting used to the antics of the leash. I don't know if it's antics or something weird.
It's the right word. It's maybe it's not. It's not a horribly wrong word.
This smart lady, might I add, I couldn't do it with 3 dogs, but she's on her electric scooter while her dog's running so that she can
exhaust them,
get it out faster so she can get back to work or the rest of her day. But it was real annoying for me because I have 3 dogs that are all worried about the dog and the scooter, and they're all, so it disrupted my walk. It put like a 1.5 minute pause on my already 30-minute walk, and by the end of my walk I've been getting a little cranky.
Oh, weird. You cranky? I took my dogs for a walk the other morning. Usually we've been walking them at nighttime because it's so fucking hot.
I've got dog shamed. I know.
Yeah. Well, so you get it. We go at nighttime after the sun has set so that this asphalt's not hella hot.
No, yes. And yeah, I know. You're not. I Googled the temperature,
I
by the way.
wasn't dog shaming you.
You didn't. No, but one of my neighbors did.
Oh, right.
You don't remember when I called you about this?
I do. And you were mad at me because I wasn't 100% on your side.
Yes. I was walking on a dirt road. They were fine. There's natural grass everywhere.
My dad's also abusing his golden retriever by walking him in the daytime on hot asphalt.
I just think, keep it to yourself. It wasn't 100 degrees outside. Don't comment on how I'm carrying it. I felt like I was being mom shamed. But I did Google the temperature that it's, because asphalt is
hot as fuck.
It doubles the
rule
amount.
is if you can't keep your hand on it, they can't keep their paw on it.
And I Googled the specific temperature that's agreed upon by most vets, and it's 87 degrees. Over 87, you should not be walking your dogs.
Fun fact.
So I've been, and I mean, don't quote me on it, but from my extensive research on Google, that is what I found. I personally don't like to walk hotter than that anyways, because it's not a fun experience for anyone. It wasn't higher than that when I got dog shamed. Just saying. It was close, but it wasn't higher than that. And I really couldn't let it go.
And obviously, it's been, how long has it been? Like 2 months?
A long time.
It's been 2 months.
And
we've even talked about it on the podcast like every time we've met since it happened to you. Except for last week, maybe. But then you talked about how fat Honey is and you got fat shamed.
Okay, I'll stop. Well, see, my life isn't very interesting right now, okay? Okay? I don't have much going on.
Anyways, my dog stopped on the walk.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
Anyways is not the actual word.
It's anyway.
Somebody in our comment section corrected the two of us, saying that they would prefer that it's anyway. So why are you disregarding that correction?
Because I don't care.
And so maybe I don't care about some of yours.
And that's fine. But I'm also pointing that out. Like, you got to embrace it. You got to embrace who you are, honey.
Okay, what were you talking about before I so rudely interrupted you?
Oh, I was just going to say, we saw a guy on a scooter the other day on our walk.
Okay.
But the dogs were just like... stunned. They were like if Jelly had been there, she would have like chased that motherfucker down and been like, bah, 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 what the fuck are you? You know what I mean? She'd be like, tell me who you working for? Like whatever it was. That's always Jelly's vibe, to protect. But the two boys just stopped and they were like, what is that? Watched it go all the way down the street back to his house. I was like, guys, we gotta go.
And that's what I mean. It really put like a 2 to 5 minute stop in my walk.
Well, I've also started letting them do whatever the fuck they want on the walk, like sniffing whatever, which isn't great for like leash etiquette, but I'm like, is leash etiquette for them or me? And it feels like it's for me.
Honestly, yeah, it does feel selfish to the human.
And so it's like, what do they fucking live for? This walk. Like, let them have this walk, man.
And I try to do a happy mixture where it's like, okay, we're going to really smell everything right now. And then we're going to do 10 minutes of just walking.
Yeah, because I also read that the smelling is what knocks them out. Like, it makes them sleepy.
Oh, for the puppies. Because
it makes both of them, it makes their brains think. They're thinking about the smell that they're smelling. But if it's just a walk, it's going to take me twice as long to exhaust these fuckers.
So you're just like, smell everything.
Yeah, or twice as far. But I'm just like, yeah, get your sniffs in. But then the other thing is like, the baby doesn't have his flu shot yet. So I'm like, don't sniff the pee-pee.
Flu?
Yeah. I'm getting them flu shots because I'm taking the baby to training.
I didn't know. Is that like the board or the one that...
No, that's that one. This is a flu shot.
Okay. The vet told me I had every shot I could have for my dog, so I hope that she's right.
I mean, it probably is. It's specifically like, we didn't do it last year, and I'm starting to think when Jelly was very sick at the beginning of the year, that was the flu. Oh. Because Joe kept saying like it's like she's really, really sick. Like she just has a sickness instead of it being about her cancer or pancreatitis or an ulcer or anything. And he's like, right, because I don't want to get into it. It's gross. It just turns into vomit talk.
I think we were going to talk about the deep hole in your being.
Oh, I mean, that came before the trauma. I was born with a hole in my heart.
Okay, so elaborate.
Oh my God.
We were
want me to talk about everything I said at lunch?
Yeah, I think it's good to get deep.
Okay, what do you want me to extrapolate? So basically I was talking about, as I do in my vlog this week. You can't take this from me. I've pre-planned it.
Okay, as long as you sell me a story right now, then we're fine.
Basically, I was just talking about how there's like, last week's vlog is all about gratitude. And I noticed that a lot of the comments in my comment section are about people's gratitude for their, sobriety, however long it may be. Mm-hmm. And we were just talking about like what sobriety is for me, because it's not just not drinking and using. It's also working on filling the hole in my heart. And I call it a hole in my heart because it's like I was born with a deficit or like a deficiency. And and that's what I think of like.
And it's not depression.
I think some people could diagnose it as depression. I think some people could diagnose it as anxiety and ADHD.
Would you say, what's the overlining feeling though? Is it that you'll never be satisfied prior to
it's that
treating
I'm prior to treating it's I am undeserving of love and life.
Wow.
And I think that is indicative of my alcoholism. But it's not just alcohol that's my problem, because it's also like I told you at lunch, like I just have a big problem. Everything I do, I want to do it big.
Right.
And I will do it big because it's like once I step 1 foot out of my mental sobriety and I pick up something that I quote unquote use, be it a credit card, be it alcohol, be it marijuana, be it pills, whatever the fuck, that one pickup is the last choice I can make consciously.
Because you were saying as you got older, you realized that you can fill or mask some of the hole with substances.
I have a really stupid analogy.
Okay. I'm ready.
Have you ever noticed on Instagram Reels or TikTok when they have those videos of like a jalapeno that's got a bite taken out of it, and then they fill like the jalapeno with top of ramen noodles, and then they file down the top of ramen noodles, and then they put glue in the top of ramen noodles. Oh, first they put glue, then they file down the noodles, and then they paint it to make it look like the jalapeno never had a bite taken out of it, but you know it's filled with ramen noodles, so it's not actually whole.
I wish I could relate.
But I just described it in great detail.
Okay.
Can you not? Can you make? Can you just?
I blacked out at the fact that I had never seen the visual.
You son of a bitch.
I was like, I'm so upset that I've never seen this visual, but I'm kind of with you.
Yeah. Are you? Anyways, for those of you who did listen at home, that's kind of what it is. Like I with alcohol, with weed, with drugs, with money, with whatever the fuck, with negative behavior, negative attention, I can patch the hole, but it still exists. Right. So once the only good thing about removing those substances is now I have a proper wound to treat instead of one that's going to get infected.
You're forced to face what the wound is initially.
And you can actually heal it.
And you don't have to elaborate if you don't want, but what were some of your findings? Like, what were some of your revelations when you were getting sober that you needed to work upon?
I think the biggest revelation. The biggest revelation. Am I saying it right?
This was also funny at lunch. I kept saying, we were talking about how we argue with people. And Lizzie said, I've come to a conclusion that if I pause, think about it, and then can't explain what my problem is in 2 words, then it's not worth it and I need to let it go.
Yeah.
And so I said, what was my question to you?
You said what can you express with 2 words? And I said important things.
Well,
and you said, but what is that? And he's like, but what with 2 words can you do that? And I was like, well, I just did it with 2 words, important things.
And I said, well, there's not one fight in my life that I could take a pause from and say 2 words that would paint the picture of while I'm still mad, except I'm frustrated, but then that still doesn't do it. But then I asked her a very specific question, and she kept repeating my question in her answer as if it was an interview. I'm like, what specifically hurt you the most? And she's like, the thing that specifically hurt me the most was...
I'm a well-trained girl. My mom's an English teacher. I'm ready to answer essay questions.
I didn't know that.
I mean, kind of.
What does kind of an English teacher mean?
I mean, honestly, Mom, no offense, I don't really know. My mom's a special lady. Anyways, one of the things I actually learned was that you know how it's so easy for me to hate things and people?
Uh-huh.
And sometimes it seems absurd how much I hate that person or thing.
Or obsess about it?
Yeah, that. Mm-hmm. So that is because I don't... my foundation is I don't deserve to be loved. So I get really, and I guess the most appropriate word is jealous, and then punitive to people who act as if they're worthy of love.
Right.
And to me, the simple act of the confidence to exist and express oneself freely is indicative of someone believing they're worthy of love. And I'm just like, fuck that and fuck you because you don't, and that's shit.
And so what has helped you overcome that phase?
This is the one that I have to work on the most regularly, is because it's so... That's the
ingrained.
It's so ingrained because it's something it was a born with feeling. So to get rid of that, it takes constant belief in the fact that I am lovable.
Right.
And the fact that love isn't something that, people are or are not worthy of. It just is.
Yeah.
People are just loved. People are just love. So embracing that and understanding that and accepting that helps a lot. But I really need the constant reminder, which is why I go to places as regularly as I can, where their motto is, we will love you until you love yourself.
Oh, that is one of the mottos?
I mean, I don't think it's a slogan written on a fucking card hanging in a church somewhere.
But it's a point that's hit frequently.
It's something that's said a lot.
Okay.
And you don't understand it, or you roll your eyes at it at first. And then if you keep coming back, eventually the truth of that statement settles into that hole in my heart. And it's maybe I don't hate little Xan. Maybe I just hate myself.
So let's relate this to Julia Fox.
That's different. She's not deserving of love.
Whoa! You can't be a realized person.
I'm kidding.
I know, and that's why we love you.
That was a joke. I don't hate Julia Fox.
Oh, I know. You just find her enraging.
I hate what she's doing. I don't even know that I hate what she's doing. Like, I hate little Xan, but like I don't.
I don't even know which one that is.
It's Diego. It's one of Tana Mojo's exes.
Oh.
He's the one that's got the tattoos all over his face. Again, I realize that's a non-unique trait. But yeah, not a big fan of Lil Xan.
Wow.
But I guess he's deserving of love too. Because we all are. Because no one deserves it. We just are and a have. You know?
Seems like you're treated.
I'm cured. Someone said that I said that the other day. This guy was like, I haven't seen you around. It's like, oh, I figured it out. He's like that's the most toxic thing I could say in one of these rooms, by the way. Like, I was totally joking. I was like, no, I'm good. I'm good. I'm cured.
Forever cured.
I just took 12 steps and now I'm good.
Wow. And I don't know if we've already talked about this, but do you not have urges just to, because like me, even after a long day, even if it wasn't stressful, like sometimes I just crave a glass of wine, even like the smell of it, the aroma. It's like a coffee to me.
I miss the ritual and inclusion with groups, but that's why I do shots of energy drinks.
Right.
To be part of the ritual.
Sorry, I'm laughing. I know.
No,
that's like
yeah. But it's like I honestly like I really miss the ritual and the community. Mm-hmm. But then I see my community when they're not doing shots of Red Bull, but shots of hard alcohol, and I'm like, I don't miss that.
No.
I don't miss that at all.
Yeah.
I don't miss the anxiety and depression that's guaranteed to come after, sometimes even during. I don't miss that at all.
Yeah.
I definitely miss Molly all the time. I wish I was a normal person.
I've never done that.
Gosh, I really wish I was a normal person and could do Molly every day. Because normal people do drugs every day. And and sometimes, like, I miss, like, do you remember when you were, like, in high school and you first start smoking weed and you just do it, like, once every year maybe? Like, I miss the thrill of that one time you get high. But it's like, I can't just get high one time. And it's annoying because everyone's like, marijuana's not addictive. It's like, girl, I'm addicted.
I know so many people addicted to marijuana.
But it's like, I'm addicted to fucking everything. I'm addicted to gluten, even though it fucks my body up.
Riley. That is not a cheap toy.
She's eating the tripod.
Baby.
Riley Finn.
Now she stopped because she knows she's in trouble.
She knows. Oh,
my sweet little gorgeous princess.
your little foothead baby.
Okay, so do you want to talk about, while you're heavily grounded, I think you should touch upon your recognition.
Oh, well, let's leave that ground. Are you just trying to avoid the beef I have with you for the fucking bullshit
whichever
you put me
story
through?
you want to start first.
I just want to really quickly, while I'm sitting here super vulnerable and grounded with you, let you know that I have a resentment against you.
I should have never told you this.
You really shouldn't have. It was an insane thing for you to do. And it's like the way you looked at me when you said it was like you wanted a fight. You know what I mean? But it was weird because you did it off camera. So it felt really personal. Like you didn't bring it here to like start some shit for views.
It was
like
truthful.
You did it in our real.
Well, no,
it was truthful. We get Dr. Phil on the line. I swear to God, I'm like looking at. What was I looking at? Oh, I needed to tell you what the Uber cost today. But I was looking at, and I'm still haven't looked at the Uber. I was looking at crumble cookies, and this week they seem to be like cake themed or like whatever. It doesn't matter. I would like to try them this week. He goes, oh, I had them, but I left them at my mom's house because I didn't want you to have any of them.
Well, in real time, it was my sister's birthday yesterday. And so we went over to celebrate. So Shane got the big party box, and it is frequent. When I'm thinking about the truth, or when I'm thinking about the extended,
about the truth,
it really does break my heart for you from me, like bad me, because you do once a week, like say like, have you seen the crumble flavors? Did you try them? Are they worth it? Which one's worth it? Should I try it? Like that's something you frequently ask me.
Well, it's because in LA, it's either like I pay in time spent to go get them or I pay extra for a delivery. And it's like, is it worth that? Or are these going to sit and rot on my counter?
And last week's, totally worth it. Everyone was 10 out of 10.
Damn.
Home run.
I feel like you just didn't even respond to my text when I asked you last week.
This week's were I wouldn't. None
See,
of them
but
were great to me.
We have reverse taste in them because
It's
I
crazy.
love that animal cracker cookie.
Every time that Lizzie likes one, Shane and I hate it.
Yeah, we're polar, except for Shane and I on the sugar cookie.
Yeah.
If there's anything remotely sugar cookie about one, I text Shane and I'm like, listen, you should probably try this one.
So
That's like the extent of my relationship with Shane to some degree. Have you tried this crumble cookie? Will you read my script? Can I steal this shit from you?
So
Thank you.
we can't have them around the house because we like to get them once a week to try the flavors and then like
Pawn it
either
off.
send them to my family or get rid of them. But we can't bring them back home because then we're just going to end up eating them because they're
and
all
it makes
good.
me sick.
It makes me sick too. And that's the thing is every time I eat with Lizzie, she eats to a point where she tells me how sick she is for 3 hours afterwards.
sorry.
And so I just thought, even because my mom goes, you should take each flavor for Lizzie. And I was like, she's going to eat all of them and then she's going to be sick and then she's not going to be able to perform on the podcast. And I told Lizzie that verbatim and I just watched her heart break.
I was devastated.
But it was rude. I should have got them.
Just that it was thought of. And it doesn't matter because I'm already sick to my stomach right now and I couldn't even tell you why.
Well, we went and got fried pickles for lunch.
Yeah, but I literally, from the beginning of my day to now, I have made a very conscious effort to not fuck with any gluten because I'm sick of it.
And it did say the fried pickles were gluten-free and vegan.
Which is so
Suspicious.
sus, right? Like so sus. Is all the sauce gluten-free? Because when we left there, I showed you my belly.
She did in public.
It's
You're
extended as
wild
fuck.
in public. Wild.
No, I'm not.
I bet there's videos. We could probably search your name on TikTok and find videos of you
God.
screaming obscenities in
Do you
public.
know how much I would love that if you could find that of me?
I know you would.
And that brings us to a good segue.
Well, I just wanted to say, when you just told me you were perplexed about not being able to find your Uber charge. And so today she was like trying to pay for half the lunch. And I was like, oh, it's fine. And she's like, oh, no, I will. And I said, just minus it from your Uber and I'll, so it's just one transaction. And she goes, and I was like, okay, just pay for lunch and I'll pay for the
I figured out how to Venmo you for the lunch. I sent you lunch money.
I know. I just thought it was funny. Like, you know, the editing where it's
don't
like,
ask. Yeah, don't ask me how to do math. It's literally this.
okay, now into your segue. I'm sorry. What I did was not worth taking over the segue.
No, I do think it's funny, but it's one of those moments that's like better in person, you know?
Yeah. Most of our things are.
Which is why we're making a movie.
Our podcast is so great. We're better in person. Everything's better in person. All right. Hit up. Well, hold on. Let me see. Anything else? Okay, this is fine.
We can come back for the other things because it is just such an appropriate segue.
Right.
So I was, and in this last vlog, I was at a bachelorette party in Vegas. Mm-hmm. And we go to Costco at first. And none of us really know each other. And I have a hole in my heart. And sometimes it's filled by being an asshole. And one of the assholey things, I was like, it's like, you know, because I say this to you all the time. And it's like, honestly, I am joking, but I'm also not joking. Like, I'm a little joking, but it's like, I'm not joking.
About what? Oh.
If I don't, like, I'll say sometimes to someone, like, quietly, like, if I do not get recognized, I'm going to fucking leave.
What?
Do you guys want anything from Starbucks?
No, thank
No,
you.
I'm okay. Thank you.
It's the bow out. So I'll say that and I'll be joking, and then if it does end up happening, I feel really awkward and bad because I feel really awkward and nervous and weird because I'm a broken person. I don't know what you want from me.
She has a hole. We've established.
I have a hole, and it can't be filled with recognition. Or can it? No, it can't. But I was like, I was joking with Joe the whole time, like, I better get recognized in front of these bitches, like, for nothing. You know what I mean? Like, I'm
Right.
just being psychotic. You know, if you're here, you know I'm out of my fucking mind. And so I'd been saying that the whole time and like just being absurd. And then in Costco, it's like what happens to you in public. It was wild. Someone screamed my name. And I just turned and looked, thinking it was one of the girls because I was alone. We had all dispersed and gone about the Costco to get the shit that we wanted. So I was by myself and I hear someone shout, Lizzie! And so I look thinking it's one of the girls. And someone goes, I was right. That's Lizzie from the SIP. And I went, oh, I've been recognized. And when we walked into the Costco, like as a group of bitches, I was like, I just hope I don't get recognized here. Like, was joking. And then it happened and I was alone and I was like, do I tell them?
Oh, it cut out. Today's podcast is sponsored by Calm, and you know how it goes. Your day is filled with all those to-dos, laundry, emails, errands, cooking dinner, and before you know it, you're preparing to do it all again tomorrow. When is there ever time to focus on what you need? With Calm, you can prioritize your most important to-do, which is taking time for yourself each day. This is why I love partnering with Calm, the #1 mental wellness app that gives you the tools to improve the way you feel, because I found when I neglect to take care of myself, everything else around me crumbles. And I love that with Calm, you can reduce stress and anxiety through guided meditations, improve your focus with curated music tracks, and rest and recharge with Calm's imaginative sleep stories for children and adults. There's even new daily movement sessions designed to relax your body and uplift your mind. If you go to calm.com/sip, you'll get a special offer of 40% off a Calm premium subscription where new content is added every week. Over 100 million people around the world use Calm to take care of their minds, and Calm is ready to help you stress less, sleep more, and live a happier, healthier life. For our listeners of the show, Calm is offering an exclusive 40% off a Calm premium subscription at calm.com/sip. That's calm.com/sip for 40% off unlimited access to Calm's entire library. That's calm.com/sip. One, take two. You've gotten a response to your tit pic?
No, I just sent the tit pic. Joe was responding to last week's vlog. Anyways.
Oh, okay.
Joe watches. Joe's like the biggest supporter of my vlog.
Never seen the podcast, but...
Well, he's seen an episode. That was enough for him.
I did ruin it. I ruined our chances with Joe.
So anyways, my first thought was, do I tell them? Like, do I tell the girls I've been recognized?
In my mind, I can envision you being like, can you do that one more time when all my friends come?
You know I've done that, right? Mr. Bubs got recognized at a museum one time, and this guy goes, your dog looks a lot like Mr. Bubs. I go, he is Mr. Bubs. And he went, oh my God, that's awesome. And then I went, this is going to sound crazy. Would you be willing to do that again, but let me film it? And he was like, what? And I was like, well, see, I do this thing where I call it vlogging, and I was just wondering if you could just say exactly the beats that you just said again, as if it were your first time, but do it while I'm filming. And he let me, and it's in one of my vlogs. But yes, I would do that. Joe said it doesn't count if you have to tell people it happened. And then I told them, but they thought I was doing a bit. And so it was all just super demoralizing. And then I just wound up texting Joe. And I was like, well, I did tell them. And they think I'm joking. And I'm not joking. And so it just looks extra bad. There's no recovering from this. Like, I'm just such a fucking asshole. And I can't stop. It's like once I start going down the hill of being an asshole, it's like I gain. Oh, yeah. You know. You're all here. We all know. I don't mean any of it, which is why I can laugh. And then sometimes I catch someone who like doesn't know I'm joking, and I'm like, oh, this makes me want to die.
If I didn't know you, I wouldn't know half the time. That's why
Really?
I can't go through like a line ordering food situation with Chipotle, Sweet Greens.
I would never
Nothing
go to
that has a
Chipotle
line.
anyways.
Okay.
It's trash. It's disgusting. It makes me sick.
I can't do the meat from like any of those places, especially the chicken, because they're all thighs, and the thighs makes me really think about the chicken. And then like
It's
I'm a
just a
vegetarian
different
if I
taste,
think
and
about
it's
it.
fucking sick. I don't trust chicken, quite frankly. It makes me like, ugh. Like I don't like it. But I did eat all the chicken on the salad today because I was worried I'd get hungry when I got to the airport.
It was a delicious salad.
I just threw up in my mouth.
Okay. So in the last episode, I don't know how we got to wiki pages.
I don't remember either.
Chris Pratt. If you missed it.
Oh, you thought I was saying someone said nasty shit on your wiki page.
Yes, because you targeted it at me.
No, I speak about like the proverbial you. You know, as in one.
So we thought, do we even have that?
I'm sure you do.
I thought it could be fun to Google Live. I'm using my phone as something.
We can use my phone, but I just want to be very clear. I don't have high hopes for having a wiki page, and it is already devastating to the point where like my ears are ringing and I feel bad about myself.
What did he say to your tit pic?
I said, took this for you. He said the sexiest.
Wow.
He said, loved your grateful montage.
Oh, that is cute.
That's what I was telling you about lunch also. He goes, I said, I live for you. Anyways.
All right. Do I have a wiki? What are you looking at?
The Glee Project alums call out traumatic treatment and boot camp-like conditions. We were children.
Wow.
Yeah, sad. Where are they now? I don't want to know. Is that too far?
Ryland Adams. What's going to come up? Oh, you're just going to Google?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is this Wikipedia?
I don't know.
Should I just go to Wikipedia?
Google Ryland Adams Wikipedia.
You have one? I knew it. I'm not even shocked.
Is it really long? Is it worth reading? Should you read it?
Oh my God,
to
it's
me?
really you too.
It's really me?
Yeah.
Okay, how does Wikipedia work? Can you give me a lesson in
People put you. Oh,
What? You're in it.
I'm on your Wikipedia page. Oh my God, it's so exciting.
Do you have a clickable link?
No,
does it say
I
Lizzie
don't
with-
have a clickable link. I fucking quit. I'm walking off this show. If you motherfuckers don't make me a clickable link sometime soon, I swear to God, I will relapse.
Whoa, oh my God.
Just kidding. I don't mean that. I don't mean that at all. I'm joking. It's dark. It's dark here. We're doing dark things.
Dark girl things.
Do you want to know about it? Fuck, I'm not clickable. That's the end of this segment. Moving on.
Just read me the highlights.
Ryan Adams, born May 14th, 1991, known professionally as Ryland Adams, is an American YouTuber. In 2014, he became an on-air host and producer for Clever, an online pop culture media company.
Boring.
Is it?
Yeah, all this is boring.
Well, I think it shows that you're a self-starter. Adams entered into a relationship with fellow YouTuber and also clickable Shane Dawson in 2016.
As of February, his videos... Oh, dark. That's dark.
What?
As of February 2019, his videos averaged 3.8 million views.
What is dark about that?
That now it's nowhere close to that.
Oh. Is that dark?
That was per
you have
video.
huge numbers.
Okay, born... Oh, it says I was born in Denver, Colorado. Hot fact, I was born in Utah.
Utah, you don't even know him.
They have my education right. Wow. All right.
Who's that?
Oh, that's somebody that worked at Clever.
Why is she clickable and I'm not?
How do they know my creator awards? That's interesting.
That's public.
Oh, okay. Pretty boring, honestly. Are you there?
No,
Let me see.
I'm not clickable. We already know. Why are you playing weird games right now? Pretending like I might come up.
Do you mean... Oh, it just shows where you're mentioned, which is in mine.
You know what? I'll take it. I will make it about me if I can.
Okay.
What did they say about me and yours?
Did
Adams announced and released his first episode of the podcast The Sip alongside his co-host Lizzie Gordon. That's me.
Okay, did you want to talk about the Woodstock show before we get into advice?
Did you want to see the one wiki I am on? I am on a wiki page.
Oh, feet?
No.
What?
But I'm on that too. I'm on a wiki page called Awful Movie Wiki.
No.
Yes, I am.
And was it a movie you wrote?
It's a movie I wrote, produced, and starred in that Joe directed.
And it just talks about how bad the movie is?
Yeah, it's kind of funny. It's nice being on a page, you know?
Remember when I was talking a few episodes back about how toxic it is when people thrive even on negative attention?
No. When did you say that? What was the point of it?
I'm like, they're blinded by the attention that even if it's negative, it's fine. What?
I'm not on Awful Movie Wiki. The movie is, and so I'm basically just a byproduct of the movie.
The writer and the star isn't even a part?
No.
Wow.
God, that's upsetting.
Moving on.
The film stars Lizzie Gordon, who's also the writer.
Is that it?
Why it sucks. The trivia question is Lizzie Gordon. My name is spelled wrong. Lizzie Gordon. Who plays?
Why does it suck? You can't just skip over the hottest part.
Okay, I mean, there's a lot of points.
There's 13 points to why this movie
There's
sucks.
13 reasons why.
What's the movie called so everyone can watch it?
I don't want them to watch it. No, can I tell you why I don't want people to watch it?
Sorry.
Because I was financially abused in the making of this film. The production company that made it didn't pay me appropriately, and they never paid Joe what he was owed and agreed to. And on top of that, they make money every time you watch it legally. So if you are going to watch this dumpster fire piece of shit awful movie, steal it, or you're paying my abuser.
I'm not laughing at the paying your abuser. I'm laughing that you're telling people to steal something.
Steal it.
But
Also, like, just don't even watch it. It's such a flaming piece of shit. It's hard to watch. Like, the producer who made it prize on the passion and dreams of young people in Los Angeles trying to make their way in this world. And he will take hundreds of thousands of dollars from investors who are also actors who think that they're going to be in a movie that's going to launch their career. But then he steals that money for himself to pay for drugs and alcohol and prostitutes.
And that makes a really low budget shitty movie.
Makes a really low budget shitty movie and then pays back the investors once they sell, which they don't sell for much, but they do sell for a little bit. And he pays them back with the money from the next project. So it's like a Ponzi scheme where he's constantly scamming people and continues to work. But he worked himself out of LA. I think he's in Chicago now.
Whoa.
Yeah. Anyways, steal the fucking movie. Don't pay for it.
It will never not surprise me the lengths that cons can go.
Also,
or
this is like
the genres.
This is an exhausting con. Like, there are better ways to steal money. This guy's teeth are rotting out of his head and his pants are constantly covered in pee-pee. Doesn't matter. Like, he's working himself to the bone, not making good movies.
And honestly, like, working pretty hard if he is like on a lot of drugs.
Working really hard for being a person who's trying to be a thief. But the trivia part, Lizzie Gordon, spelled wrong, who plays the protagonist Ashley and is the film's writer, is the goddaughter of Academy Award-winning actress Helen Hunt.
I mean, you're climbing your way there.
I think it's so funny. Anyways.
Okay, what did you have about Woodstock?
It's Woodstock 1999.
My brother was talking about this last night.
So he watched the documentary?
Yeah, I have not yet dabbled. Should we wait until we've both seen it, or do you want to enlighten me?
We can, but by the time you do, it'll have been 5 years.
Yeah, and I won't remember it if I don't talk about it the week I watched it.
I also texted you multiple times and was like, watch the Victoria's Secret documentary on Hulu.
I tried and I fell asleep.
Go fuck yourself. And that's why we watch those things.
I tried. I was right where you're sitting, and 5 minutes in, and then I was like, guess it wasn't good.
I honestly did the same, which is why I never brought it up again. But the Woodstock documentary,
stayed awake during
Woodstock. It's a really well edited piece. Honestly, it kind of reminded me a little bit of how like good Shane is at evoking emotions from a person watching one of his series. Mm-hmm. This thing was really good at keeping you like in it. Like, I was editing while I was watching it, and I kept finding myself getting lost in it. And I had headphones on. You know what I mean? Like, so I kept getting lost in it, and it was just so interesting to listen to the perspective of the people who threw it, because it was a monster shit show. And also, I remember Woodstock 99 constantly being like the punchline of jokes.
I don't know much about it at all.
So the original Woodstock was like a free love, peace, whatever movement, music festival a la Coachella, but like
of their time.
Nitty gritty, dirty. People were camping out forever. So many people showed up. It was like worse than TanaCon. Like, I'm just saying it in relatable terms for you.
Right. No, thank you.
So it's like raining and there's like mudslides and it's fucking gross. But like, you know, Jimi Hendrix is wailing on the guitar and it's like a whole fucking, it's a whole fucking moment of a collective group of people of the time doing something that nobody thought you could ever fucking do. And it was gnarly. So in 99, a few people want to recreate it. And the first thing that they do wrong is they capitalize the food and beverage part of it. So already it's like a mainstream sellout thing when they have all these bands coming in like Korn and Limp Bizkit, which is like, you know, let's rage against the machine type of shit.
So they're using the marketing of what was this amazing one of a kind event.
And some of the people behind that behind this movement were of the original Woodstock.
Right.
And so it's like the same emotions to it, but it's like no matter what, like in Fire Festival, which I still pronounce as Fryer Festival because I'm a fucking idiot. It's a huge investment and you need to pay back your investors.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh, the way that we'll do that is by charging people for food and water. So initially, like instantly Coca-Cola became the people behind it.
Wow. Which
is a major sellout move for like a vibe like that. The second thing that was fucking wild is the people that could afford these tickets and who were down to come to this show were like dudes in college in 1999. It's a whole fucking different ilk. Like they're a different kind of guy. Like Kid Rock is their god. And it's like, I get that because Kid Rock is my god too. The difference is I'm not safe in that crowd in 1999, which was shown in this documentary where all these women who are like showing their tits and shit are getting horribly groped while they're thrown through the you know, like how you can crowd surf and it's supposed to be like a fun fucking empowering thing. Yeah. These women felt so empowered on the first day of the festival that they were walking around naked fearlessly, which I think is great. That's fucking awesome at a co-ed event to have that kind of comfort, that to have that kind of free like vibe, whatever. And then to have that go so darkly and twistedly south. Like Sheryl Crow was performing and everyone just kept screaming at her, "Show your tits." And it's like, I've been known to scream, "Show your tits," but it's like, it's a facetious thing. I don't need it. Yeah. I don't mean it. And I'm saying it because of how horrific it was back, whatever. So that's horrible. Then it goes from bad to worse. Nobody could afford food or water because it was so expensive. So they're all getting really fucking irritated the whole weekend. And they're just on drugs and drunk and have no water to drink except for the free public water, which by day 2 had become infested with feces.
Yuck.
So by day 3, motherfuckers were getting trench mouth.
Did they have footage from the time? Oh, wow.
It's 1999.
Okay. Did we have cell phones then?
It was covered by MTV.
Oh, wow.
MTV had correspondence there. Like, what's his name from Live? TRL.
Oh, Carson Daly.
Carson Daly was covering it. And it's fucking wild. These people were like, the next day my throat hurt. I couldn't swallow. I had huge sores all over my mouth. That's trench mouth. It's fucking sick. So the other thing is like, corn, corn's heavy. Like they go hard. Like James had corn on in the car the other day and I had to like stop him. I was like,
it's too much.
I was like, it is 9:00 in the morning.
What's going on?
And what the fuck is this? Because it's like I've heard mainstream corn, but I've never heard like deep corn, and I didn't know how deep.
I don't think I have.
Dude, actually, when we're done with this, I'm gonna have to play you the song because the fact that it was out of the car, I was like, this has to be something like super underground because it's so fucking gnarly. It's so fucking gnarly. Anyways. Korn comes on and the crowd goes fucking ape shit and it's like violent and crazy and like people are like beating the fuck out of each other in the mosh pits and like screaming like gnarly. Security guards were like, it was weird. Like at one point everybody would be here and then in the blink of an eye they'd move 6 feet as a communal group of like 250,000 people. Like that's how hard the crowd was going.
Wow.
And, it just escalates off that and turns into this horrible fucked up thing. There was a rave room where like DJ Fat Slim.
Don't look at me for facts.
Fat Slim.
So where does this live?
It lives on Netflix, but it gets so fucking gnarly to the point where on the last night, Red Hot Chili Peppers are playing a song, which is, God, they did it in Wayne's World too. I can't remember, but Cassandra does a cover of this Jimi Hendrix song and there's the word fire in it. Stand next to my fire. It's nothing like what I'm doing right now. And I don't think it's Come On Baby Light My Fire either. I'll think of it the second we stop recording, and it's so unimportant to the rest of the story.
Okay,
the point being there was fire and it was Jimi Hendrix.
Okay.
These people were all given lit candles as a unifying sort of tribute to gun violence. And that was not cleared by the fire marshal. But then all these people, when this Jimi Hendrix song comes on, starts lighting fires in trash cans that turn into huge, out of control fires. And the firemen were like, we're not going in there. These people have been batshit crazy for 3 days. They're starving. They're on drugs. They're thirsty. They've got trench mouth. I'm not going in there to fight that fire with 250,000 maniacs, which I get.
And so what happened?
It burned up. Propane tanks exploded.
How many people died?
Honestly, I'm not sure any died.
Whoa.
But that's a great question.
And are you finished with it? Is it a series? Is it a movie? Is it a documentary?
It's a documentary series.
So how many episodes?
I don't know.
Wow.
It was on all day though.
This is like, I was doing other things. Because do you ever watch TV undistracted?
Yeah, when it's shit I care about.
Emily in Paris.
Hell yeah. Not kidding. How sad is that? I watch it with every fiber of my being.
See, that's what Uncoupled was for me with Neil Patrick Harris.
This is so fucking funny. A 44-year-old man with a pre-existing heart condition.
Was the only man that passed away?
Maybe. Netflix new 3-part documentary series Trainwreck, Woodstock 1999 remembers the chaos that ensued at the attempted revival of the '69 Woodstock Music Festival. Instead of the festival's original promise of peace and love, the '99 rendition resulted in riots, arson, and death. Nearly 400,000 people attended.
Whoa.
Which was just about 100 miles from the original site. Limp Bizkit was there. Dude, honestly, one of the most emotionally engaging things of this documentary series for me was the nostalgia for these bands.
Right.
Because I love that shit. Like, there's nothing that I love more than a fucking angry, fucking screaming, like, oh, I love it so much. I love it so much. It's toxic. So that was fun. Because if I had been a man at the time, I would have had a great time at Woodstock. I would have had a really fucking good time. Woodstock 99. But then when I brought it up to Joe and James, who were of age to be there at that time, they were like, even then it seemed like a weird, stupid sellout thing, like that nobody really wanted to go to. So the vibe of the documentary series seemed off to them. I can't speak to it because I was 9, but it's the way he leaves through the background.
All right, let's get into some advice, though.
Are you sure it's time?
Yeah.
Okay.
You should go for it.
I've read so much today.
What have you been reading?
I read our wikis.
Is your flight delayed?
I'm terrified that it might be. I don't know how to check my updates, though. Your gate has changed.
Oh, all right. Hi, girlies. I'm a 24-year-old that still lives with her parents. I've been in my first local relationship for about 9 months, and he's honestly been the best and most respectful person. The problem is the relationship with my parents. They're very religious and have now given me several talks about not having sex and to be cautious about the type of things I wear, like shorts. I find it a bit extreme on their part, especially because they've recently prohibited me from going to his house, as we'd be alone and it could be a moment of, quote, weakness. Whoa. They claim to be supportive of our relationship, but have talked shit since we started dating, all because he's not religious. Luckily, my boyfriend has been very patient with my parents, but it hurts to feel like they won't have a positive relationship if me and him are going for the long term. I've always had to choose between my happiness versus making my parents happy, and this has all been very frustrating. Hope this made sense. Any advice really helps. Love you guys.
I wish that her parents' happiness was a product of hers.
Yes, and I'm not a parent, so I don't know how hard that would be if all of my core beliefs felt misrepresented in my child's choice. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, I do feel it's necessary to find a way to take yourself out of your child's happiness. Mm-hmm. But that doesn't help her. That's advice for her parents.
Yeah. Do you have their number? Do you want to send us their number? I'm happy to give them a call. I'm on a weird power trip right now, and I would love to just be like, listen, guys, I love that you have this love for your religion and your daughter and you want the best for her. But sometimes what's best for her is you actually wanting what's best for her.
Yeah. I mean, religion, sexuality, a lot of those things, even if you have expectations of your kid being a football player, a baseball player, and they have interest in arts or drama or swimming, I did always, now I really applaud my parents for encouraging me in whatever direction I wanted. I did gymnastics for a long time, to the point where I was about to do traveling, be on the team that travels. And my dad was always like, yeah, go for it. This is great. He'd go to practice. He'd drop me off at practice. Never questioned how fucking gay that was.
Stop. It's not that gay.
No, I know they're straight gymnasts. I'm just saying it for myself, But I think that will be very challenging as a parent as we come into age.
If my daughter brings home a dick wiggler, it's going to be hard.
Yeah. See, we all have our things.
It's going to be hard. I don't even care if he's more rich and famous and successful than I will ever even dream to be.
You don't care if he's offering to buy you a house.
If it's Lil Huddy, I'm going to be like, hey, please don't touch her.
So as the child, as this woman that's writing in, not child of her parents, what advice do you have for her, though?
The bummer is my advice is to be what they are struggling to be. It's to exemplify it's the golden rule. You treat others how you want to be treated, regardless of how they treat you. Mm-hmm. And it's hard. I'm literally telling you this as a person who's not in your position. So it's really fucking easy for me to say this. But I would hope that if I were in your position, I would have patience and understanding and love for them, because it sounds like you do love them because you're willing to sacrifice your own happiness for theirs. And that's a huge thing for someone to do. So I have to assume you love them. So continuing to love them, have understanding for their religious perspective and patience while you treat yourself with the same love and respect for what brings you happiness. Mom and Dad, I love you, and I love my boyfriend. They don't have to coexist, and their religious persecution does not have to be your business. And I understand that it's nearly impossible to divorce the two while living in the house and hearing what they're saying, but it's just like what I was trying to tell you at lunch. If there's not something I can do to rectify the situation with 2 words, it means I'm trying to control something that is out of my control forever.
Right.
I cannot control people, places, or things.
And sometimes, like you were saying, we were talking about it in regards to fighting with anyone. And you were saying, well, some things just need to be let go of some things and move on. And I was like, I don't know if that's true, because like, what if I'm not done being angry about the thing that I'm holding on to? And you were like, not valid. And I was like, well, I think it depends on the circumstance.
I also think that's a deeply masculine characteristic.
Why?
Because I've heard a lot of men say that. And I've noticed, because I'm a fighter, so I fight with a lot of people. And I've noticed that more often than not, when I'm fighting with a man, he cares about the specific details of the argument, as opposed to the overarching umbrella theme issue, which is most commonly boiled down to I'm hurt, you're hurt, we're hurting each other. And you can simplify it like that, but it's like,
I do think like bringing up an old wound over time constantly and always going back to that isn't going to help you. So I agree, like creating a solution for the overarching problem is the best way to go. But if you're not there yet, it's hard to close that chapter if you're still being hurt in the same way.
I totally get it. I'm not sure if this is a perfect analogy, but it's like, if I shoot you with the gun, there's a couple of problems, right? Specifically, there's a hole in you. But in order to fix that hole in you, we really got to focus on me just like stopping shooting you.
Right.
Because we can, we can deal with this hole in you, and I can shoot you again, and you're going to have a new hole. Do you see what I'm saying? So the specifics of the holes are less important. And the more important thing is the pattern of me shooting you.
Okay.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes.
And that's all. That's my.
And I guess to me, it depends on the gravity of the situation. Like if you were cheated on, that seems like.
Oh, that's something you can end with 2 words. We're done.
Okay, back to you. I know you're 24. It would be
the worst. Dude, I'm so sorry. Fuck that shit though. Honestly, I know that it sucks ass. I'm sorry.
24, living with your parents. You know what? I think if you are financially capable, I think it might be best for you to start your own journey.
Yeah.
Even if it's only a mile from your parents, having your own space to create your own life, because 24 is not a child. And I think ideally you come together with your parents, because obviously it sounds like you love them. And the idea is that everyone gathers and has a wonderful time, because there's nothing better than having your parents get along well with your significant other. But I think if you kind of detached a little bit from the daily stresses of feeling the weight of their religion on your life, that might be a good solution for now.
There's also, I don't know if this pertains to you because you didn't specifically say this is your problem, but later in life I learned about this world, or later in my young life, I learned about the word enmeshment, where you can become as a child enmeshed with your parent, which means that your feelings are seemingly predicated upon your parents' feelings. And because of that, you become sort of codependently enmeshed in your parental relationship. And it has sort of an emotionally stunting effect on a person. It keeps you like a child mindfully for too long, and a subordinate for too long. So it's really important that you find the mindfulness to disconnect your cord from them, so that you can be your own person and evolve into your own adulthood, and you can have all of that and still love them.
Yeah. And I think constantly over time, if you show them that you're in a loving relationship, they're going to come to terms with, oh, maybe he's not the same religion that we had hoped for, but he's giving my daughter everything emotionally, and like he is a good man. I think over time they will come to terms with what actually is.
And if they never do, and if he's the one and you're with him forever, I strongly encourage you to to find a way to protect your joy and your space mentally without needing to control your parents, because you cannot do that. You cannot change your parents' minds. You cannot do anything and they may change on of their own will and volition. Nothing you do is going to change that. So if I were you, I would focus your time and energy mentally on accepting them as they are, and embracing and celebrating your individuality and your relationship with this guy who's good to you.
Amen. Okay, we got an update from a previous submission.
Woo!
Update. Hey there. Not sure if anyone does updates for Am I the Asshole? So I'm the gal that wrote in about 2 or 3 months ago regarding my wicked sisters and them selling my mother's house after she passed away.
Oh, I'm so glad you reached out.
So I took your advice, thank you, and I asked my sisters for a meeting. They refused and sent a sheriff to my house 1 week later to kick me out. They gave me 30 days notice and then changed the locks on the doors after I moved out. So I will not be buying the house for sure now. I decided Lizzie is right. They are wicked sisters and I have said fuck it. I found a new place to rent. I said a heart-wrenching goodbye to my dogs and moved out a couple of days ago. Since I felt like I was on a roll with getting toxic people out of my life, I decided to end my 7-year relationship. He was toxic as fuck too. I made the decision to fuck them all. I chose me. Maybe I can mourn properly and heal my mind and heart. Thank you so much. You have no idea how much your advice helped. And then, sorry, Uno's barking.
I'm crying.
She says, P.S. I'm a bit lonely. Maybe a hamster named Sippy.
Oh, I just realized Sippy's because of our Sip show.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Dude, I'm so sorry. Fuck all of that. Fuck all of that so hard. And I'm proud of you.
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine the strength it took for you to be able to stand up for yourself. And thank you for writing back and giving us the update. I do think within your new life, you're going to find blessings that you had never expected because in ways of having and being able to keep that house, you would have fond memories and be in a space you're familiar with. I do think going to a new space, creating a new environment for yourself and starting over is going to bring you things that you never expected.
Yeah, and I gotta say, like, I got chills all over my body and my eyes filled with tears, and I'm fucking sorry. I'm hella proud of you because I know that's really hard. I've been blessed in the past where the people that I don't want in my life, when they get a sense of me building a self-esteem and a boundary, it's like they respond like a vampire to garlic and they fizzle off on their own. So I've never had to have the courage to be like, fuck off. But it's
especially when it's your sisters and your relationship of a long time.
Yo, send us pictures of the hamster. Honestly, so cute. I love that. They're great pets.
I'm wishing you the best, though, and I hope your new life is filled with everything you've imagined, even if it hurts right now. I think building something new and that is completely you and discovering who you without all of these things will be incredible.
Yeah, it's like, you know how like grocery stores have to do an inventory and throw away rotten shit? Mm-hmm. You took an inventory, you threw away the rotten shit. Your shelves are clear right now for some good ass stuff. And I'm excited for your next chapter that comes after this period of grieving because I know that that's really fucking hard. And I can tell you that there are glimpses, like, because I'm sad as fuck. Mm-hmm. I'm always like, don't do it. Like, stay. Like, hold on to everything like a tornado's coming. Like, you can control the tornado. But it's like, to be completely honest, like, there are glimmers of like me having a feeling of like, oh, today's beautiful. Oh, I love my life. Granted, immediately after I have that thought, I get back into my like mourning thoughts. But it's just to even have that hope of that, and then to find a way to find the balance of grief and new at the same time, I think will come.
And it might be a slow build. It might be really hard for a while.
And
but
have patience.
I think it's going to be ultimately worth it. And I think looking back in a couple of years, you're not going to imagine what your life would have been like had you been in the same space that you always were. Had
you continued to waste your time with rotten food. Also, I'm going to pitch that you get a ginger hamster.
Of course
and it is about me. Oh my God.
What?
I didn't announce my babies.
Oh.
Since we last spoke, I have had 2 more babies and all of my girls are in this world now.
Everyone that was pregnant has popped them out? Mm-hmm. How many are there now?
There's, gosh, I don't know if I'm allowed to say all their names.
Oh.
There's Millie, Lily, Cody, and Ellie.
Okay, 4. Mm-hmm. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, like none
and
of these.
Hayden. One boy, Hayden.
It's kind of like you sending me like 7 pictures a day of your dog. I think everyone's happy for everyone to have a baby, but the people that like don't know any of these people, I don't know that they
I have to tell
are
you guys,
super emotionally attached.
These human babies are like the French bulldogs of humans. Like they are so goddamn cute and perfect. What?
Everyone thinks their babies are perfect.
No, these are my babies. They're adorable though. Like they're honestly so fucking cute. Okay, the one boy, Hayden, is my friend Cynthia's kid, and he's barely even a larva pup, but that dude smiles and listens. Like, are you fucking kidding me? And Mills was born with a head full of hair. Her real name is Milani, but I'm calling her Mills. I'm playing with Millie, but I think Mills is good, like Mills and Lils. You know what I'm saying?
All right, last one before we go. Hello, Ryland and Lizzie and Chris. I'm 31 and I've been with my boyfriend for 11 years. We live together and I love him so much, but a problem that I've had a lot is that I always catch him looking at other girls while we're out together. I told him how much it kills me and he has made it less obvious when he looks, but I still catch him doing it. He claims he never looks. I just want to know if I have a right to feel upset. Should I not care? Do I confront him again when he's doing it? I'm a Cancer, so am I just being too sensitive? I hope you guys can help me out.
Gosh, I don't know if he's really doing that. It's really upsetting.
Yeah, I think I would feel... yeah, it's hard not to feel offended by that, especially if you're experiencing it in real time. I was trying to relate it to porn, but it's like different. A real life scenario that you're witnessing in real time of a person that's tangible, rather than like somebody behind a screen. I wonder how much is... It's hard to know. Like, I guess in your gut, you know what is him checking out another person rather than just like casually looking at people that are going by.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I was talking about this with my friend Sarah because I'm particularly like, nope. You know what I mean?
In regards to what?
I was trying to tell Sarah that if I had been... I would not be comfortable at all being touched by one of the male dancers at Thunder Down Under.
Oh.
I would be very upset about it. I would feel like it was cheating and not cool. And that's at a dance show.
Yeah.
And she said, other people have different relationships. And, there are some people who have the security within their relationship to be polyamorous. There are people who have the kind of relationship where they can say to each other, like, I have a crush on this person at work and I want to fuck them. I have friends who have rules about their open relationship where they're allowed to step out and sleep with whoever they want as long as it doesn't come home, like things like that. And it's just, that is not me.
A lot of gay guys I know will even like go to restaurants or bars and talk about all the hot guys they saw there together and be like, oh, that restaurant always attracts hot guys. And I'm like, if I ever heard Shane talking like that, it would really make my stomach turn.
Yeah.
And that's not like what I'm looking to do with him. Like, I don't want to go out to a restaurant and look at the eye candy. Like, that's just not for me. And it sounds like it's not for you either. I think the root of it is maybe asking yourself and him how much of it is real and what is the depth of the checkout. Because I feel as though that would make me insecure in my relationship and maybe about myself a little bit too, because you immediately go to the thought process of, oh, well, if he thinks that's attractive and I don't look like that, does he not think I'm attractive? And is he thinking about cheating on me? Which is obviously a similar thought process to what you're having. And that's why I mean, like, what is the depth of the checkout? Does he appreciate human figure, or is it he's actually shopping? I think you have to have, it sounds like you've already confronted him because you said you have, but I think you need to have an in-depth conversation about it with him and tell him how it's affecting you, or tell him what your deep-rooted fears about him checking out other women are. Is it that you feel like he's going to cheat on you, or that you're not attractive, or that he has a different type than you? And why does he feel the need to have to do it? I mean, because if he's doing it in front of her, and also, then is he doing it all the time? Yeah, and I fucking hate it. I hate it. I also don't like that he's like, I'll try and hide it from you. How about just don't fucking do that, my guy? The fuck? Almost, I hate it. It feels like I hate him. If you can't reason with him through conversation, to me, it feels like a deal breaker. I don't even feel like it's worth reasoning. Is that fucked? I don't feel like it's worth reasoning. If it's bothering you, and it's not okay. And I don't want him to hide it from you. I want him to never have done it. And he's done it. And it kind of feels like he's going to keep doing it, is what he's saying, but hide it. And all of that just makes me think, like, sayonara, sucker. They've been together for 11 years. Yeah, sayonara, sucker. Well, it's not that easy to say goodbye to an 11-year relationship, but maybe it is time to take inventory of the positives and negatives in your relationship. Okay, then you guys have been together since you're 21. I mean, crazier things have happened. And yeah, I get that.
sayonara, sucker. You don't deserve that. You don't deserve to have to ask him to hide his checkouts.
I agree. And I would also do a check-in with yourself of like, what excites you about the relationship?
Yeah.
What does he do that does fulfill you? And is this the very only thing that upsets you?
Are you there because you're comfortable and you're afraid of change, or are you there because you love him and life is worth being with him? If you're there because it's easier to stay than go, get gone.
I agree. And if it really is isolated to this, I would have a deep heart-to-heart with him, talking about how it affects you and asking him to stop his behavior, because I don't think it's right, quite honestly.
Yeah. And, you know, at the end of the day, if you don't like what you hear from him, get a fucking ginger hamster and name it Lizzie.
Oh, okay. Well, I hope we helped. And thank you guys all for watching and enjoying and supporting our podcast. If you want to follow us on social media, we're at The Sip Official. Lizzie also has a vlog channel where she uploads every Tuesday. I have a vlog channel as well. We love you so much. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week. Goodbye.
And that's The Sip.